and on. And one thing has come back to me. I tried to tell us about this to somebody else the other day, and I couldn't remember the song that had stuck in my head. But this, I'm still remembering that Old Black Magic was the song he sang that night, and he may have sung it 6 times because nobody would let him leave. But this was his first job, and he was with Tommy Dorsey, and I'm still remembering what that night was like because I went to Europe the next day. I got on the boat and went overseas.
And this was Sinatra singing.
Yeah. At that time, we didn't know his name. He was just this 17-year-old kid with Tommy Dorsey.
Skinny kid.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But anyway, he was in that pic. That if I can find it, if you're interested, I might be able to find it now.
Yeah. I do want you to tell me about that last bombing mission.
Oh, then that is some emails. If I can find them, I'll send them to you because it was a crazy time. Because I sent a copy of that to George, and I sent George's answer to me and my answer to Weymouth, and I sent them all to everybody because my remarks about that day, that was one of the big days of my life, the day that I discovered I wasn't going to get killed.
Can you tell me about that? Just the mission over and.
Well, all I can tell you is, nobody knew that the war was going to end. This was just for reasons I'm not sure of any longer. They had been getting this plane ready to fly a long-range mission to attack Japan, and we were expecting that we would be used in the invasion of Japan, which would be coming in another few weeks or months or whatever, because.
So what plane were you flying?
P47N. Have you ever noticed my email address?
Oh, yeah.
I was flying the P47N,
Yeah.
and the P47N was designed to stay up for 20 hours for that reason.
So give me the chronology of when the 2 bombs dropped and then your mission.
I'm not sure I can give you the chronology. All I can tell you is that I had a postcard from George. This was obvious. I flew my mission on August 13th, I think. And I had a postcard from George somewhere about the 6th or 7th of August telling me that they were going to use his gadget. And I had visited him at Princeton in the Manhattan Project when they were building it. They hated my guts. They were very upset with me even being in that room. But anyway, I visited him, and I knew what he was doing, and he had talked with me before he went into the project, because he had an offer from Vicks Vapor Rub. Then he'd gotten this interested thing: should he go down to work with these scientists, and or should he stay with the Vicks Vapor Rub? And we agreed he should go build what turned out to be the atom bomb. But anyway. He sent me a card. I was on Iwo Jima, and he said, in effect, our gadget's going to be used. Be careful, don't get near it. And I knew what he was telling me, and I told the guys in my squad, and everybody thought I was crazy. What do you mean, the atom bomb? What the hell is that kind of a thing is that? They thought I was crazy. But anyway, this was about a week before it was used, and it was used, and we just knew that it had been used. I mean, we were getting the news, but we didn't. And the planes that were going up to bomb Japan, well, that thing I think flew from Guam or Tinian or something like that. But it was part of that group of islands that included Iwo Jima. So that it had flown from either Guam or Saipan or one of those islands, or Tinian, that included Iwo Jima. And they'd gone up to, and if I can find that, Jesus, that was a marvelous email. If I can find that email, you'll really enjoy that. And if not, I'll have somebody else send it to me, because it's got pieces and pieces and pieces. And if I can find one of them, I can find them all.
So where were you when the 2 bombs were dropped?
On Iwo Jima.
Do you remember exactly where you were?
I was on Iwo Jima.
Do you remember exactly where you were and what you were doing when they dropped him? I mean, what was the reaction of the people of your?
Well, I've got pictures of my squadron. We were just going around doing. We were not thinking of ourselves as being part of the end of the war. We were just thinking of ourselves as the, I think it was the 512th Squadron or something like that on Iwo Jima. That's all.
Yeah. But those were the biggest.
And at the time, there were still Japanese soldiers on Iwo Jima in the caves that these guys were going in to dig out and bomb out and fire, bomb, whatever the hell they could do to get them out of there. They were still in some of the caves on Iwo Jima.
These were some of the biggest mass casualties at one time, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So what was the reaction of your crew that this was a turning point? Well,
the availability of the news was not. I lost my wingman the day we flew our mission because he was a rookie, and I carefully tried to teach him that when we were flying in formation, if I turn, don't follow me around, cut across, keep the formation, because if we go across a target and the target is shooting back at me, they're going to hit you. They're going to miss me and hit you.
Yeah.
I had come down from 7,000 feet, firing the guns all the way to knock out this steamship.
So what was your mission? And when was it? It was the last day of the war?
Yeah, the last day of the war.
And so what was the mission as you knew
The
it?
mission was anything that we could find that was moving, knock it out. And we were in at I think the Nagoya Harbor, and we flew around this harbor, which was maybe 10 miles across. And there were trains on the ground, and we were shooting up anything we could see. And on one part of that harbor, there was a 300-foot steamer tied up at a dock along the side. And at the time when I started, I was at 7,000 feet with my flight of 4 airplanes. And I came down from 7,000 feet shooting all the way. As I explained, they had sighted my gun so that they made a round thing that was like poking your finger. And I started shooting from 7,000 feet, and I shot from 7,000 feet down and sank the son of a bitch. And I'm not positive, but I don't think I put a single bullet in the water. I think if I had put a bullet in anything other than that ship, I'd have seen the splash. I put all those bullets in that ship, and it sank.